Not just love, but deep, lasting devotion. There's a kind of woman that men don't just date, they remember. Even years later. Even after time has passed, even when they've moved on. She stays with them. Her memory is a warm place they revisit in quiet moments, wondering what it was that made her different. And here's the truth, it's not just about beauty. It never really was. The kind of woman men fall deeply in love with doesn't have to be the most stunning person in the room. She doesn't have to say all the right things or be perfect. But she does have something rare. Something real. Something magnetic. So what is it? Let's start with presence. There's a power in being present. In really listening. In making someone feel seen. In a world that's constantly scrolling, swiping, and distracted, this kind of presence is rare and precious. When a man speaks and a woman really hears him, when she looks at him and doesn't just see his face, but understands his silence, that's unforgettable. She becomes a place of emotional safety. A shelter. But she's not only soft. She is fire too. A woman men fall for doesn't pretend to be someone she's not. She's real. She's not afraid to laugh loudly, to speak her truth, to walk away from things that hurt her soul. Her strength doesn't come from being hard, it comes from knowing who she is and loving herself enough not to settle for less. And men, even the ones who seem distant, feel this. They feel her depth, her boundaries, her softness, her energy. It's in the little things, the way she touches his hand without rushing, the way she's not trying to impress, just be. The way she doesn't compete for his attention because she knows her worth. And when a woman knows her worth, the right kind of man falls hard. The power of vulnerability. She's not trying to be a mystery. She's not playing games or hiding behind masks. The kind of woman men fall deeply in love with has the courage to be vulnerable. And vulnerability is not weakness, it's honesty with the soul. She speaks about her fears. She admits when she's hurt. She doesn't pretend to be okay when she's breaking inside. And this kind of emotional openness creates a space where a man can drop his armor too. In her presence, he doesn't feel like he has to perform. He feels like he can finally breathe. Because she's not judging. She's not controlling. She's just there, holding space for both the joy and the messiness of life. And men, though they're often taught to suppress their feelings, crave this kind of emotional safety more than they admit. She becomes the first person he cries in front of. The one he tells his childhood stories to. The one who sees not only the man he is now, but the boy he once was. And she holds both with the same compassion. That's powerful. But here's the twist, her vulnerability doesn't make her needy. She's not looking for a man to complete her. She's not begging for love. Her heart is open, but it's not desperate. She gives love freely, not because she's afraid of losing him, but because love is her nature. And when she chooses to love, it's a choice, not a survival tactic. She's not afraid to say, "I love you," first, if it's true. She's also not afraid to walk away if it's not mutual. And this balance between open-heartedness and inner strength is what makes her unforgettable. Men fall in love with her not because she needs them, but because she makes them want to become better. Not to win her over, but because they're inspired just by being near her. She's not the loudest woman in the room, but she is the most real. And that realness? It's magnetic. It makes him feel like he's finally come home. She lives with passion and purpose. There's something incredibly attractive about a woman who is in love with her own life. She's not waiting for a man to rescue her from boredom or to give her direction. She already has her passions, her projects, her dreams. Whether it's her art, her career, her love of nature, animals, books, or travel, she has something that lights her up from the inside. And that light? It draws people in. When a woman is passionate about something, it gives her energy. She radiates joy and purpose, and that's far more captivating than perfect skin or the right dress. Because passion is contagious. A man sees her doing what she loves, and it sparks something in him. He wants to support her. Be part of that journey. Cheer her on, not because she needs it, but because it feels good to be around someone who's so alive. She makes even the ordinary feel special. A walk becomes an adventure. Cooking dinner turns into laughter and dancing in the kitchen. She brings color into his black and white days. And most of all, she's not afraid to be silly. She can laugh at herself. She can be goofy. She doesn't take herself too seriously. That's what makes her so human, so warm, so approachable. She doesn't build walls of perfection. She builds bridges with laughter, stories, and warmth. But don't mistake that lightness for emptiness. She feels deeply. When she loves, it's not shallow. It's fierce. It's loyal. It's present. She's the kind of woman who remembers your favorite childhood memory and also notices the tension in your voice when something's off. She notices everything not to control, but to connect. And here's the magic. She doesn't lose herself in love. She adds herself to it. She still has her world, her boundaries, her values. And that's exactly what makes a man want to protect her, not because she's weak, but because she's precious. She values her time. She values his time. She brings peace, not chaos. She brings grounding, not drama. And in a world full of distractions and noise, she becomes his quiet, his sanctuary. Emotional maturity, her quiet superpower. She doesn't scream to be heard. She doesn't threaten to leave just to test him. She doesn't create chaos just to feel something. She's emotionally mature, and that changes everything. She knows how to regulate her emotions, not because she doesn't feel deeply, but because she respects both herself and the people around her. She takes responsibility for her feelings. She's not looking to blame, she's looking to understand. And this is rare. In a world where so many run from accountability, she leans into it. When something hurts, she talks about it clearly, calmly, without games. She doesn't play the victim. She doesn't guilt trip. She communicates. And when she listens, she really listens. Not to reply, not to argue, but to understand where he's coming from. That makes a man feel safe in ways he's never known before. Because most men carry wounds. Childhood wounds. Wounds from past relationships. Wounds from a world that told them to man up and don't cry. But with her, he doesn't have to pretend. He can be both strong and soft. She gives him the space to be whole. She doesn't punish him for being human. She offers grace. But grace doesn't mean she tolerates everything. She has standards. She knows the difference between mistakes and patterns. She forgives, but she doesn't forget who she is. If a man continues to disrespect her, she walks away, not to teach him a lesson, but to protect her peace. That's what makes her so powerful. She's not afraid of being alone because she likes her own company. She's not desperate for someone to fill the silence because she's comfortable in it. And yet, when she loves deeply. She remembers the little things. She asks how your day really went. She texts when something reminded her of you. She's thoughtful without keeping score. She gives from overflow, not from emptiness. And here's the real beauty of emotional maturity. It creates trust. Trust that she won't use your vulnerabilities against you. Trust that when she's angry, she'll still be kind. Trust that when life gets hard, she won't run. She stays not out of obligation, but out of intention. And that's what turns love from something fleeting into something forever. Her inner world, a universe of depth. She has a whole world inside her, and she invites him in, slowly, intentionally, like opening a door to a secret garden. The kind of woman men fall deeply in love with has substance. She thinks deeply, feels fully, and isn't afraid to wrestle with the big questions. She cares about something. Maybe it's justice. Maybe it's art. Maybe it's spirituality or human rights or healing her childhood wounds, but she cares. She has values. And she lives them. She's not easily swayed by trends or peer pressure. She's not trying to be liked by everyone because she knows who she is. And that certainty? It's magnetic. It gives a man something to lean on, something to respect, something to grow with. She doesn't ask, "Do you like me?" She asks, "Do our lives align?" That's the shift. She's not looking for fireworks that burn out in a week. She's building a fire that can last through storms, through seasons, through silence. She wants real intimacy, soul-level partnership, a connection that's more than physical, one that makes both hearts grow stronger. And she's not afraid to challenge him. She'll lovingly call him out when he's acting small. She won't let him settle for less than he's capable of. Not because she wants to change him, but because she sees what he can become. She believes in him, even when he doubts himself. That kind of belief is powerful. It makes a man rise. It makes him want to rise. Because love, in her world, isn't possession, it's expansion. It's not about control, it's about freedom. And he feels it. He feels more himself when he's with her, not less. And maybe most importantly, she's not trying to win him. She's choosing him, but only if he also chooses her fully. That quiet confidence makes all the difference. She's not trying to trap him with seduction or manipulation. She's not afraid he'll leave because she's too busy being someone worth staying for. She doesn't beg for love. She embodies it. And because she is so full of it, it naturally overflows into everything she does, how she speaks, how she looks at him, how she shows up in the relationship. She's the kind of woman a man doesn't just love. He respects her. He fears losing her. He remembers her, even when she's gone. Because being with her feels like being close to truth, to warmth, to life. The woman he can't forget. There's always that one woman. The one he talks about even years later. The one who changed him not by trying to, but simply by being. The one who saw him, really saw him, and loved him not in spite of his wounds, but through them. She made him want to be a better man, not for her approval, but because her presence reminded him of who he could be. That's the kind of woman men fall deeply in love with. Not the loudest, not the flashiest, but the truest. She's the one who brings peace into his chaos. She's the one whose silence feels safe. She's the one who teaches him, without ever preaching, what it feels like to be chosen by someone who loves themselves first. And that changes him. Because now love has a new meaning. It's not about possession. It's not about performance. It's about partnership. About showing up every day with kindness, curiosity, and care. It's about becoming teammates in life. Because here's the thing, men don't just fall in love with a woman because she's beautiful or exciting. They fall in love because they feel like better versions of themselves when they're around her. They feel seen, heard, held. They fall in love with how she makes them feel, not with manipulation, but with honesty, with consistency, with depth. So, if you're watching this and wondering, how can I be that woman? Know this. You don't have to change who you are. You don't have to become perfect. You don't have to be anything other than your most real, raw, radiant self. But do the work. Love yourself first. Build a life you're proud of. Speak your truth. Set your boundaries. And let someone meet you there. Because the right man won't run from your strength. He'll rise to meet it. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, if it reminded you of your own worth, if it gave you hope or comfort or clarity, then please take a moment to support this project. Your likes, shares, and comments mean more than you know. They help this channel grow and help more people find peace, healing, and emotional calm. This is more than just content. It's a movement. And you're a part of it now. Yellow hearts, stay kind. Stay open. Stay powerful.